See the new Bill Burr one?
The comedy special?
Comedy special as well. Yeah, he just released a podcast too with Joe again a couple days ago.
Oh, is Bill Burr on Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like
I gotta
what,
watch
the
that.
fifth time or whatever.
I'm so backed up on Rogan. I gotta watch a bunch of them. I haven't even finished the new Maynard episode.
Yeah, right before the episode or the new Tool album came out.
Yeah, let's. We're gonna go back to Bill Burr because I have things to talk about. But I don't want to. I'm hoping to do a full Tool review if Paul and Jake ever fucking come around. But you're a Tool fan, so I'll talk about Tool review. What do you think about the album?
I like the album. I think it's really good.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, I'll give it a 9 because I don't consider
Really
9 or an 8 because I don't consider anything perfect. And while I had my expectations,
I've considered things perfect, but it's few and far between.
yeah, while I had my expectations and some of those weren't met, I'm not disappointed in any way. I think the album's actually really good. Instrumentally, it's incredible. Everything's so precise. I mean, my main thing is I guess I was expecting a little bit more vocals because I've been listening to a lot of old Tool, those really deep yells and screams.
Yeah, and when we talked about this a couple days ago, and I told you like Maynard's in his 50s,
I
he
get
can't do the screams anymore.
I get it. I should have lowered my expectations.
And that's what I went into the album. I was like, they're all in their 50s. It's like it's not the thing that bothered me mainly about it is it doesn't have that full drop. Like a lot of Tool songs have that heavy drop.
Yeah.
The only time that really happens is on Tempest, is where it gets real heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them are like it builds, and it never.
It kind of just
releases.
stops. Yeah, and a lot of the songs. Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
Which isn't a bad thing because when I first heard the album, I was kind of disappointed. Then, as I listened to it,
gradually,
Tempest I always loved. As I listened to it, I grew to love Numa. I grew to love Invincible.
Invincible's great. That's probably my favorite right now.
The D. What's the song with the D?
Demon.
I can. Something with the D. Calling Voices. That song is kind of.
You're gonna have to look it up. I really can't remember. Descending.
See, that was one of the ones I liked. The instrumental, because they would play the instrumental on tour, and I like those versions. I like the Descending over Invincible, and now it's kind of switched. Descending isn't a bad song. Neither is Calling Voices, and Fear Inoculum, the song itself, I was kind of
not my favorite.
Yeah,
not my favorite.
My father fucking loved it when it first came out, and I was like, yeah. I feel like
it's good. It's just
I feel like I hope there's better tracks because I feel like that wasn't their strongest one to be the single.
It's that opening album, they wanted to give you a little taste.
It had its.
And they kind of when they build their albums, intro to outro, it all connects a little bit.
Yeah, and this one doesn't even really connect.
Now that we are talking about the Tool album, what do you think about this whole metal rock thing rising back up, man? Have you seen what Tool has done on the billboards, knocking T Swift off the #1? We got even their interludes on the album on the top 25. It's crazy. These are great times, man. I've been waiting forever for this.
So I
was a kid.
have a comment on that.
Go ahead.
Yes, it is surprising, and it's
awesome. I love it.
I want to find. There's a billboard. They do articles on their site. There's an article that literally tells all the records they broke the day they put shit on streaming.
Yeah, dude, they were #1 everywhere.
I gotta find that article.
It's awesome, because they've never done streaming. They just released it all at once, and
they did
people
it
have always wanted it.
They did it a month before they released the album. And the thing with that is they sold 270,000 album equivalent units, which means it's a mix of album sales, 10 song downloads, doesn't matter which 10, and then I think it's 5,000 or 10,000 streams counts as an album sale.
Really?
So that's how Billboard calculates album sales.
Okay.
270 total. 240,000 of those was an actual someone buying an album, which is rare for nowadays because nobody buys physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that might even counted digital downloads where you said buy album on the internet too. Not the other one, the tracks is say you bought this track and this track and this track. That would count as an album. if you bought so many of them.
Oh yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I can't stand when people do that. Just pick a few songs out. Like you gotta hear the whole album, man.
Sometimes if the band's really good,
Yeah.
also
Also a good comment.
it's so cool to see. Number one, Fear Inoculum.
Number one.
Yeah, so on Billboard, and I gotta find that article.
Excellent.
I think Slipknot's gonna dethrone them.
Yeah, Slipknot was they released their album right before they released theirs, and that went number one too, I believe, for a little while.
And Billboard, they take like a week or two to update because this album's been out for a couple weeks and it just finally hit number one.
Yeah, it's a great year for rock and roll, man. I'll tell you that, rock and metal. It's a great fucking year.
So I don't think there's gonna be a resurgence because think about this: these two bands that are hitting number one. Yes, Tool's doing an amazing thing. They've been gone for 13 years and they dethroned Taylor fucking Swift.
Fuck you, T.
Who's
Swift.
a titan in the goddamn industry. It hurts me to admit that, but she really is.
Mm-hmm. They dethroned Drake too.
They dethroned when they started the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
They dethroned Drake, and when they started the trying to find the article. When they hit the charts, they dethroned Taylor. And they prevented Lana Del Rey was supposed to debut number one. They prevented her from getting the number one album, which makes me even happier.
People are pissed. Apparently, Taylor Swift was pretty let down from that.
She'll be fine. You want to know what she's almost sold already 1 million albums in 2 weeks. She'll get over it.
Don't think her life sucks all that much.
Yeah.
It's awesome though, growing up on this genre of music, because you know me, I've always been a fan since I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Listening to this with Paul and Jake, I kind of consider them like the musical influence, like the start of it, where I really started like I like this. I want to explore this more. And
this is what music is.
It led to Chris Cornell. It led to bands like Linkin Park. Even back in the day, there was all these awesome bands. Alice in Chains. Another personal favorite. Even now, with Elaine gone, they're still kicking ass. I love it.
Oh, with what's his name? William Duvall.
It was just his birthday recently. Happy birthday, William.
I'm sure he'll hear that.
I hope you do, and I hope you invite me to one of your shows.
Yeah.
For free. I mean,
if he's inviting you, he better be inviting my fucking ass.
I mean, if you can only take one of us, don't feel bad leaving Adam.
Motherfucker, it's my show. Oh, fuck, here it is. Tool has a record-shattering week. I just want to read this fucking article. Yeah. Tool has a record-shattering week on the rock charts thanks to digital and streaming debut. 5 Tool albums hit the Billboard 200, and new single Fear Inoculum marks the band's first appearance on the Hot 100 since 2001. The only time they ever did it was with Schism.
Really?
Yep. 2 high-profile...
Yeah, because Schism was like a featured song on rock or Guitar Hero back in the day. I remember that's how I got introduced to Tool.
We'll start with the albums, none of which Tool has released since 2006's 10,000 Days. Still, the band's 4 studio sets entered the top rock albums chart after their arrival on digital services, both for purchase and streaming, led by 96's Anemia, which debuted at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Lateralis follows at number 2. I'll do Anemia, 33,000 units. Lateralis, number 2, at 27,000 units. 10,000 Days at number 4 with 24,000 units. And 93's Undertow with 5. At number 5 with 23,000 units. Though by claiming 4 of the top 5 top rock albums, Tool becomes the first act with at least that many in the region in the list's history. So they're the first band to do 4 albums in the top 5 on the top rock charts.
Damn.
Besting Linkin Park's mark of the 3 on August 12th, 2017, probably when Chester died.
Mm-hmm.
Tool also takes 4 of the top 5 spots on hard rock albums, also the first act to achieve. How'd you hit? You hit the mic?
You heard that, huh?
Yeah, it was loud.
Sorry, ladies and gents.
On the all-format Billboard 200, 4 Tool LPs re-enter, led by Anemia at number 10 on the Billboard 200. It was number fucking 10. While Undertow reaches a new peak at number 19, besting its prior number 50 high in November 93, plus 1992 EP Opiate reaches the Billboard 200 for the first time ever at number 59.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, Opiate's probably been the most recent album I've really started like
And it's
listening
the
to
oldest
daily.
one. Song-wise, 13 Tool titles reached the streaming sales and airplay-based hot rock songs tally, where older entries can chart if they rank in the top half of the meaningful reason for the resurgence. The Hall is led by Sober, one of Tool's signature songs, which bows at number 3, a number 13 hit on the mainstream rock chart airplay charts in late 93, making Tool's first Billboard Airplay Survey appearance. Sober enters 2.9 million US streams and 21,000 downloads sold. Like, it just trying to see. Sober is followed by number 4 debut of Fear Inoculum, more on the new song below, with Schism starting at number 5, 2.6 million streams, 15,000 sold, and number 2 on the mainstream rock songs in '01. Tool ties another chart record by landing 7 titles in the Hot Rock Songs top 10, a feat shared with Linkin Park again. On the Rock Digital Song Chart, Tool holds 15 of the tally's 25 spots, including the entire top 10,
Oh my
making the
goodness.
first time an act has occupied the top tier. Queen previously had the record, snagging 8 of the top 10 for 2 weeks in March, powered by the Bohemian Rhapsody buzz. Sober leads number 1 at becoming Tool's first rock digital song sales leader. Tool also takes 17 of the 25 position on hard rock digital song sales, including the top 14. That, you guessed it, is also a record. Moving on to Fear Inoculum, Tool's first new music since 2006 is 10,000 Days. Debuts at number 4 on Hot Rock.
2006, holy shit.
Number 4 on Hot Rock Songs after its August 7th release, garnering 3.9 million streams, 70,000 downloads through the tracking week ending August 8th. Additionally, the song launches at radio, debuting number 20 on mainstream rock songs, number 28 on the all rock format airplay chart, guaranteeing. The track is Tool's first Billboard Hot 100 entry since 2001, bowing at number 93 on the all genre chart, which is insane, and grants the group another record at 10 minutes and 21 seconds long. It's the longest hit in the Hot 100 61-year history, as well as the first to run over 10 minutes. And then that's pretty much it.
Dude, incredible. It's incredibly well deserved too.
That's insane. So that's just mainly, most of that is just when they released their streaming.
Yeah,
On their
they did that first. Let it all.
They
out of the
broke
cage.
all those records. Just in that, think about this: is like they were comparing it to Linkin Park. That's when Chester died. Is whenever an artist dies,
Everything blew up.
everything
Everything went
blows up
platinum.
when an artist dies. And then when, what the fuck? And Queen, the reason that that blew up is because Bohemian Rhapsody was such a big movie.
Which haven't seen it yet, but hear good things.
You should, because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, see my brother watch it like 3 times in the last week. I've seen him watching it.
You should have watched it. So Tool did this literally by saying, "Hey, we're gonna put our shit on the internet," and they broke like 8 records.
It's time. He announced it on the podcast, right, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he did.
Like it went live or something.
He
During
announced
the podcast.
that, and the new single, and then the album's name and when it was coming out.
It's like got that all out of the way right in the beginning. Put his phone down. Like, all right, what do we got to talk about now? It's like screw all this Tool shit.
Right.
Let's talk about the vineyard.
Weird.
I've always wanted to try his wine. I was thinking about getting it as a gift.
Yeah, I want to try it too.
Like my mom or something. What do we got here?
This is live before the album was released.
Oh, is this it's Invisible.
Invincible, yeah.
Yeah, every song on the album too is like over 10 minutes. Pretty much.
The
damn near
shortest
every
song is 10 minutes, if you don't count the interludes. And the longest one is Tempest at like 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's like fucking 17 or something, I think, actually.
Oh, God.
Good for Tool, man. They kept us waiting, right? You know? Let's give you a bunch of long-ass songs for y'all to enjoy for the next 13 years.
Yeah, right. God, I hope they don't wait 13 years again.
I doubt it. I think they're getting started back up with it, you know?
I think that the reason they waited as long as it took them that long was they had a lot of legal trouble. They were fighting with their label for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, because usually Tool albums, as you look at the other ones, it was usually 3 to 4 to 5 years in between each album. This one was
Something like that,
rare
yeah.
because they kept, and also Maynard had side projects, and the other guys had their own thing that they were doing.
You know, running 3 bands is kind of hard to...
That'll do it. I want to find the jam part. Oh, that's annoying. It's a phone recording. That's why I'm allowed to play it.
You guys.
There we go. I think here we go. Maybe. What did I want to talk about next? Oh, Bill Burr made me think of.
Oh, yeah.
So have you heard? I'll stop talking when the thing comes on. Oh, really? I didn't know this had lyrics. Because when I saw it, I saw it a couple years ago, it was just instrumentals.
Maybe it's a newer video. Or something.
It's 6/20/19. So it was only a couple months for the album, so there probably was lyrics by then. Here we go. Right? Maybe? Songs are so long you don't know when the fucking... There it is.
Yeah, like I said, this has probably become my favorite song on the album.
It's I can't decide. It's definitely up there for me. I just love these jams, and
Oh, it's great, dude.
this is a great fucking jam.
Fucking
Also, Danny Carey is fucking insane on this album.
great.
Drummer, he's a drummer.
Drummer, not the guitarist. I always mix up those two. No, Justin's the bass player.
Justin's the bass player. I always forget the guitar player's name, and he literally has my name.
I just mixed them up, dude. Yeah,
Adam Jones.
Jones.
I think I knew the bass player's name because he is one of my favorite bass tones in all of rock and roll. He wrote the bass tone for Schism.
Yeah. Fucking one of my favorite songs. Like I said, probably the first song I ever heard by Tool.
It's probably the first song everyone's heard by Tool.
Thank you, Guitar Hero. It was hard to play.
Alright, that's enough. I just wanted to play the jam part.